buckled under international protests and announced that it will meet representatives of the Dalai Lama. That's the first such meeting in almost a year. The Dalai Lama's spokesman says it's a step in the right direction, but will the talks really change conditions in Tibet, or are they just for show ahead of the Olympic Games? Our China correspondent James Reynolds reports from Beijing.
Pro-Tibetan demonstrators are getting ready to make their point. Protesters have already disrupted the torch relay in London, Paris and other cities. China accuses the Dalai Lama of trying to sabotage the Beijing Olympics. No point in even talking to such a man, China's always said, until he gives up violence. But tonight, with a straight face, China simply changed tack. State TV says that the government will now sit down with one of the Dalai Lama's envoys. That's a welcome piece of news for this set of visitors from the European Commission. For weeks, the EU has called on China to hold talks with the Dalai Lama. And tonight, the Commission's president gave us his first reaction to the news.
Talks does not mean agreement, but it represents a very important progress. I think it's fair to recognize that.
For China, Europe is important. 2 decades ago, China and Europe traded almost nothing. But by the end of 2006, bilateral trade reached over £200 billion. China is now Europe's biggest source of manufactured imports, worth over £150 billion, and China's Europe's fastest growing export market, making £50 billion a year.
We now have a very deep and irreversible economic interdependence and a trade interdependence between China and Europe. It's in both our interests for this relationship to go well.
Beijing's move has given its European visitors something to take home with them. China's keen to show the West that it is taking positive steps. But holding talks is one thing. Reaching an agreement with the Dalai Lama is something entirely different. James Reynolds, BBC News, Beijing.
3 New York police officers have been cleared of killing an unarmed black man on his wedding day. Sean Bell was hit by 50 bullets as he left a nightclub hours before he was due to be married in 2006. As the verdict was read, a crowd outside the courthouse erupted into screams of protest. From New York.